Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Omni viewer, and I'm back with the first really big bit of news regarding Godzilla Monster Planet that we've gotten in, well, quite a long time actually. Now, my feelings regarding Godzilla Monster Planet up until this point have been, let us say, riddled with concern. I just found it kinda suspicious that we weren't seeing any evidence of monsters being in this supposed monster movie. For crying out loud, this was the first official movie poster. Does this look like the poster for a monster movie to you? Some kind of Gundam-esque anime series maybe, but a Godzilla movie? Not so much. And knowing this was a planned trilogy made me wonder if the first movie would be nothing but build-up, and the monsters wouldn't even show up until part 2. Well, at long last, the wait is over. We finally have our first glimpse of what Godzilla will look like in Godzilla Monster Planet, thanks to the newest movie poster that's been released. Are you ready? Voila! Quite the contrast from the last poster, isn't it? It's a very stark image. It kind of reminds me of Frank Miller's Sin City comics. But there's something else it reminds me of. Does anyone else think this looks kinda like the legendary Godzilla? In fact, it looks kinda like this poster, just with Godzilla facing the other direction. Granted, it's not exact. The spines are a different shape, the skin is a different texture, the legs are slightly thinner, and the arms are slightly bigger, but otherwise, this really does look quite a bit like the legendary Godzilla. Then again, the legendary Godzilla was designed to look like the original Godzilla, so I guess this brings it full circle. A part of me is wondering why they kept this hidden for so long, though. By which I mean this. I've heard it speculated that this version of Godzilla might be so incredibly different from what's come before that just looking at him would give too much away about where the movie is going. And I don't really know if looking at this image really gives all that much away. I mean, he looks like Godzilla. What else were we expecting? But don't get the impression that I'm underwhelmed. The image actually does tell us a lot about how Godzilla will be portrayed. The choice to have most of him in shadow, including his face, creates that sense of mystery that shadows and silhouettes often do. And the texture on his skin and spines combined with his girth makes him look especially menacing. I must say, I'm very curious to see this Godzilla in his entirety, and I'm especially curious to see him in motion. Actually, you know what else this reminds me of? It reminds me of the cover art for the video game that came out a little bit ago. So there you have it, our first glimpse at anime Godzilla. What do you think? Is it a good design or a bad design? Are you happy or disappointed that it looks like the legendary Godzilla? Do you think this is evidence that Godzilla will have a sizable presence in the movie itself? Feel free to leave your thoughts below. Until such time as we meet again, this is the Omni Viewer, signing off.